What's up YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So today's plan is to do the massive gap behind me. This is stage 5 of the Squamish Enduro. This trail is called Cougar Ridge here in Valley Cliff, Squamish. And it's gonna be gnarly, so let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to walk you through the different changes we've made to that trail in order to make the gap possible. First off, the run out. We removed a couple of the hazards such as the big logs behind me, just in case something happened. We made it a little bit wider, safer. Right there was a bit of a compression because a lot of people were braking right here and then regaining momentum after, so there was a little bit of a build-up of dirt. So we made it a little bit flatter to avoid the compression. And right there, we added a bunch of dirt to also limit the compression and to make the transition from the rock to the flat part smoother. We also made it a little bit wider because ideally I want to jump and land on the right hand side of the slab because it's gonna be smoother and it's gonna align me better with the rest of the trail. Now let's look at the upper part. So this is where I want to put my rear wheel, and up there is the takeoff, so that way you have an idea of the size. So the biggest part of the job was the landing pad, which is right behind me. Before that you had a little bit of a hole on the right hand side and the rock wasn't smooth. So we built up that little rock wall in order to support the dirt, and we got a landing pad. It's about 2 to 3 feet wide and it's probably 6 to 7 feet long, so about 1.5 bike length. So I'm gonna have to be really precise, and regardless of how I land, I'm most likely gonna bounce a little bit towards the outside, which is why having a wider landing was important. But yeah, it looks pretty good. We got some rain, so hopefully the dirt is compacted enough to take on the impact. Now let's look on top. So here is our takeoff. As you can see, it's a little bit of a downhill takeoff, which means I can spot the landing, which is very nice, but the landing is also really far down. So it's gonna be a huge pool with a big compression. And talking about compression, one of the bigger challenges for me was the fact that you come into that rock slab, and if you have any amount of speed, it's gonna want to send you up in the air. So I'm gonna have to keep the wheels on the ground, and right there used to be a 15 to 20 centimeter drop, which will actually be really tricky to manage the compression on the bike and have time to reset, preload and bunny up for the actual jump. So we added a few buckets of dirt, and I think this is gonna give me a lot more confidence, at least for the first attempt. Not sure if I actually need it or not, but for the first attempt I'm really stoked that we have this. Behind me we've got the actual run-in. As you can see, it's pretty steep and gnarly. Couple of rock faces, a drop, and I'm gonna have plenty of speed. If anything, I'm probably gonna have too much speed for the jump, and if I have too much speed, my big concern is that I'm gonna struggle to keep the wheels on the ground on that rock slab. Therefore, it's gonna impact how I'm able to carry speed to the takeoff and push on the bike to preload and get the air I need to reach the landing. So I'm not gonna try to overcook it. I just want to come in really stable, line up properly, push, pull, and hopefully make it. So let's get gear up and get going. It's actually really long. Like this part is gonna be really tricky. I'm glad we put the dirt. And in terms of bikes, so this is my propane spin drift, obviously. I feel like it's a good bike for the job, but I recently swapped the carbon V2 bars from 1UP from a 35 to a 50mm rise, so I'm a little bit higher, which I believe is gonna be better for riding gnarly steep terrain, but I need to get used to it a little bit more. And one modification I've done on the bike, obviously I've added some air on the fork, on the shock. I slowed down the rebound. That's gonna make the bike bigger, better on bigger impact. One thing I changed also is the pedals. I went for the Time Shisto, which has a downhill pedal, more platform. I think it's gonna give me more support for that landing. So all those little things like are going to help my confidence. So. Okay, I'm going to roll the feature. I think that's gonna be insane actually. There's so much going on before the actual jump. Yeah, I don't know what I launched myself into. Not sure that was a very good idea. So I'm actually gonna start from here because this adds a big compression. Another one here, and then I need to control the speed again. So I think starting from here is better. That was definitely a bit better. Still a long way though. A very long way. Before we keep on riding, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, Jenson USA. Jenson is an online retailer that sells most of the product I'm using. You can actually find in the description a link to all the products, all the parts I've been using on my bike. And anytime you make a purchase using those links on Jenson, that does support my channel. Actually, I've been riding for Jenson in 2020 and 2021, and they've been a huge part of the success of this channel. So big shout out to them. As always, if you want to support the channel, make sure you subscribe, leave a like and a comment. That helps out a ton. Now let's get back to this crazy line.
What do you think?
I think it's gnarly. The landing is tiny, but I think my biggest concern is that because of what's on the run-in, I'm not actually 100% confident that I can land past the stick, which is where I know I'm gonna be able to handle the impact. Here we have a little bit of a case pad, but it's not enough for how much drop there is because it's well above twice my size. So I think it's worth it if we take a couple of wooden logs, stack them up to here, add some dirt so that way I have 2 less feet to jump. I think that will make me feel way more confident for the first attempt. And then once I'm done, we can remove it and jump it as it is. But the way I see it, it's a little bit like someone doing slopestyle, learning tricks first on a foam pit or on an airbag before doing it to dirt. If you have the opportunity to do that, you may as well. Not worth the risk. So yeah, I think we should do that.
Squamish gold.
Some really good dirt right there. Still big, but that looks much better. Really glad we built that case pad. That gives me a bit of a confidence boost. I only saved a couple feet, but that couple feet was where I was not 100% confident that I could land where I wanted to land. So the plan, I'm gonna jump it this way. Hopefully I land where I wanted to land in the first place, which will mean that I don't need the case pad, remove the case pad, and I'll jump it how it was supposed to be jumped in the first place. But regardless if I do that or not, we have to remove the case pad because now that becomes a hazard for people that are just riding down the trails. So let's get going. Okay, running. It's still long, huh? I need another run-in. So if I actually ride the entire trail, I might be able to get a better flow. I think I just need to do it. I had like a good flow and a good run-in. I know what to do. Control the speed, pump the roller, go fast, and all done. I got this. Roll, drop, control the braking, push, accelerate, launch. Like I didn't even have to try for it. I was actually braking. All that stress for nothing. That was actually way more chill than I thought. The impact was really not bad, and I definitely didn't need a case pad. I think we're in business now. If I did try, I feel I could have landed on that steep bit at the end. The impact would be huge, but yeah, I didn't even try to go fast. I was on the brakes, and like I could really go much faster and bunny up further, but no, I felt really good. I think what was playing with my mind is that you train your brain to slow down, because before that was a danger and the drop wasn't possible. And now it's essentially the same feature, but instead of braking, you want to carry speed in order to jump the entire thing. And I was struggling with allowing my brain to like switch from braking to accelerating, but no, it felt really good. I'm gonna do it again with a case pad. Then we move the case pad and it's business time. So this is my rear wheel, and that's actually exactly where I wanted to land in the first place. So I really didn't need that case pad, but I played it safe, played it smart, so I'm pretty stoked with that. I'm gonna do it again, case pad is there, and then we'll remove it and we'll send it. Nice!
Dude, your back tire was in exactly the same spot.
It's funny because when I was at the top, I told myself to be consistent. Like consistent with the speed, with the line, with the pop, so here we go. Woo! Woo! Like that compression before, even though I'm going slow, comes up so quick that I don't have much time to like pull a nice bunny up. So it's all about being strong on the bike, feeling like the suspension are really balanced, and helping the bike jump, but you can't really be super proactive and, you know, properly bunny up and correct it. So your speed at the top is actually key. If I was going too slow and I needed to bunny up, that'll be tricky. How about we remove that case pad and properly do it. Look at you, you look like a lumberjack. Okay, first attempt without the case pad. Come on, it's the same. Same, not faster, same. yeah, I land exactly on the same spot every time. Man, it's just such an awkward pop, but it rides so well. I'm really pumped on the vision for this gap. I actually asked Jackson Goldstone that I wanted to see what he could do on his downhill bike here, but I guess he'll have to come back from the World Cups to do it. He'll probably land right there though. This is the living proof that sometimes I do some trail building. Not very well though. Here we go, second attempt with no case pad. Nice! That'll be a really sweet line for the enduro. No way I will do that after 8 hours of racing and my heart rate at 190 and a ton of people around not knowing if someone is too close from the landing. But that's definitely the winning line. Thanks everyone for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, I had a blast ticking off that feature. Pretty iconic trail now. And I'm stoked on the different steps we did in order to achieve the gap. I was definitely on the cautious side, but that's the image of mountain biking I want to share. It doesn't have to be insane, it doesn't have to be reckless. You can make those small steps in order to progress. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it, subscribe, leave me a comment, and if you want to support the channel, simply check out the links down below. You can save some money while you support me a little bit. You can save on Noble wheels, DVO suspension, propane, and you can find a bunch of the product, or I guess all the products I'm riding, including the Neurona clothing, on-heel protection, specialized helmet, really everything. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.